what I'm doing. I had to choose to listen to him. And he incorporated a small discipline off the line of scrimmage, had us change. And here's the thing. When we do make change, when we're intentional about it, it doesn't feel natural. And it's something that we have to remind ourselves to do. We have to make an advanced decision because habits are first deliberates. You first have to deliberately do something over and over, and your mind begins to choose and tell you that's what we do now. Because as I read in that story, that guy and that woman, that their mind just went back to what's familiar, what's ease, that what the water flows to least resistance. All water does, hits a rock, it goes around, right? We have to make an advanced decision that we are going to participate and that we have to be teachable, and the unnatural, no matter how natural it is, to apply it. So every day, and it was loathsome. We had to stand there, and for 10 minutes, we're just doing one step, and the coach saying, this is the most important step. Your first step is the most important step, and we practice it over and over and over. And then by the time preseason, the games came, it became secondary because he forced us. We had to. He was the coach. Had to do this and I had to choose that I'm really going to do it, not just go through the motions. I am going to pay attention. I mean, he would come up to you and he'd move your hand a little bit. You're like, really? And your shoulder. Is that really? But the mechanics, the importance of it came to fruition when games came because there's an opponent. And my first step was the most important step if I put myself in the best position to get away from him and get separation. I was doing my part because everyone else was depending on me to do my part. And I realized after many games how effective it was more than what I did the years before. It was only because I had to. But that made an indelible mark all these years later, realizing how important the first step is. So when we wake up, your mind automatically goes what you have to do that day, right? What you want to do. Depending on the day of the week, the things that you have, the things that are work-wise, things that are social-wise, things that are family-wise, your mind goes, I got to do this, and your mind goes there. And I want to tell you, the first step is the most important step. It is you speaking to you. There is no bigger and more important investor in your becoming and doing than you. And how have we been dumbed down and deceived? We are numb. Oh, my phone's here somewhere. Distracted by all the things the algorithms. Right? We get called on the phone. We have 500 channels on TV and Netflix, and we can have stuff instantly. And we listen to what other people are saying and doing. Social media, all these things, and we are becoming just consumers, and we have to interject ourselves. So what does that mean? Your identity. Who are you? What's your purpose? What are the principles that you have that you will stand on? What are non-negotiables in your life? Do you have them? Do you think about them? What I started doing and learning this is when I woke up and automatically mom would go, yes, I would interrupt it. I am a leader, teacher, encourager, listener, helper, sowing into other people, God-centered, husband, father, man of God. Leader, teacher, encourager, listener, helper, sower, God-centered, husband and father, man of God. What's your identity? I've had a spiral index notebook, and I would write my identity down, and I would speak it. I would speak it first thing in the morning. First step is the most important step because the distractions and things of the world, you will get caught up, and no matter what you think you're going to do, you don't have your mind established to do it. Willpower doesn't work. You have to establish. And I say this, you have to, very much, because it has worked in my life. It's worked in so many people's lives that I've worked with, people that have given me feedback from speaking, from working with them, from reading my books. And I don't say that to impress you. I say that to impress upon you how important it is that we choose what goes in here, or we allow the world to choose for us. So I spoke it. Continue. Leader, teacher, encourager, listener, helper, sower, God-centered, husband, father, man of God. So I have my identity. I will speak that. And from where your identity comes from how you react or respond. Reacting is a thermometer. Flavor of the day, you're angry, things, it just, gosh, that person just triggers me. All these things, we go up and down. Like we have no control if we just allow the world to dictate. But what you start doing is you're starting to set a thermostat, because on a daily basis, a small discipline of your identity and speaking it to you, as Dr. Caroline Leaf says, the power of what you speak to yourself. She says, if you knew the power of negative thought, you would never speak a negative word again in your life. If you knew the power